Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of MBHL On The Ball for the fall season 2012. Matthew Lefleur-Herwood here with your fix of MBHL highlights. We have another packed show ready for you to enjoy, so let's get right into the action that took place on October 4th, 2012 at the Club West Island Arena. Game 1 showcases the Draft League where Old Bones takes on Wounded Knee. Old Bones have gotten off to a strong start and are currently undefeated, but their games have been extremely close. Player GM Norm Plouffe will need his top draft picks to lead the way to keep their streak alive. In their first matchup, Old Bones took it to Wounded Knee, beating them 4-2. This time around, I expect Team GM Andrew Jackson to call on his troops to raise their level of play to bury Old Bones in defeat. We start this game off in Old Bones zone with Wounded Knee on the attack. Alain Clark gets a good chance, but his backhand goes wide on Chris Vafiadis. Clark is back at it again moments later on a partial break, but Vafiadis sprawls down to make the save. More from Wounded Knee when Marco Bruno breaks free from his defender, but sends his shot straight into the goalie's chest. Now in Wounded Knee territory, Jeff Aimbo will get two good cracks in front of the net, but goalie and friend of the show, Andrew Jackson, comes up big with two big saves. Jackson is then forced to make another big save against Tasso Adanakopoulos, aka the Blue Liner Ripper. Wounded Knee would finally break the ice at the 1 minute mark of the second period. JF Berube is going to spring Clark on a breakaway. He'll go low glove side to make it 1-0 Orange. Old Bones look to strike soon after by bombarding Jackson's net, but can't put the finishing touches on their attacks. Wounded Knee are looking to pad their 1-goal lead later in the period, but Vafiadis makes a big blocker save up close. With just 4 minutes left of the game, Adanakopoulos is going to get thrown into the boards, but he doesn't give up on the play, sets up in the middle, and sends a half slapper that fools Jackson. It's tied 1-1. Wounded Knee are looking to regain their lead, but once again, the Old Bones goalie stands tall in front of his crease. That save would prove to be huge when just under 2 minutes remaining to the game and Old Bones on the power play. Sandro Ferraro's seeing eye point shot will find its way through traffic to the back of the net to make it 2-1 Old Bones. With the goalie pulled in favor of a sixth man, Wounded Knee would come close when Clark's shot hits the post behind Vafiadis. Old Bones take this one 2-1. This game was closely played throughout the entire game, but 2 goals in 2 minutes and 15 seconds proved to be the difference maker. Alain Clark was by far the most dangerous player for Wounded Knee and will probably be replaying that shot off the post in his head for a while. The Old Bones stay undefeated with a 2-0-1 record, while Wounded Knee dropped to 1-2. Game 2 is a battle of number 1 and number 2 seeds of the A-League between Barracudas and IHAS Ball Hockey. Barracuda's veteran stars like Dino Del Grosso and Dave Goldfarb have been scoring machines, while Jimmy Sirois has embraced his playmaking role on this squad. Barracudas play a very fast, yet physical game. This will be an interesting matchup against a highly skilled, but much less physical IHAS Ball Hockey team. IHAS boasts probably the best offensive line in the league with Corey Steger, Julio Correa, and Andrew Edson. Barracudas will need to shut these guys down if they want to get a chance to win this game. We start this game with IHAS Ball Hockey on the attack. Julio Correa will drop the ball back to Corey Steger, but the IHAS sniper sees Jamie Collister make a toe save. Steger wastes no time getting back to what he does best when he accepts a pass from Correa before burying a snapper short side to make it 1-0 IHAS. With the score now 1-1, Jimmy Sirois breaks into the zone, gets denied by Philippe Mathieu before Carl Ritondo taps in the rebound behind the sprawled tender. It's now 2-1 Barracudas. Trying to tie the game back at 2, Steger sets up Nick Néron up front for the tip, but once again Collister is there to make another toe save. Back in IHAS zone, Darren Hill sends a cross-ring pass over to Dino Del Grosso, who drops the ball to John Rigglesford, who proceeds to sending a howitzer past Mathieu. It's now 3-1 Cudas. Back to a scenario we've seen far too often in this game. Steger meet Collister, Collister say bye now. IHAS will cut the lead down to 1 before the end of the first. Néron picks up the ball off the boards, feeds Correa who's left to his lonesome in the slot. He makes no mistake from there, the lead is cut to 1. Now in the second period, Sirois intercepts the ball at the IHAS blue line, but he and Alex Haddad make about 4 passes too many and don't even get a shot on net. Midway through the second, Ritondo was sprung in alone against Mathieu, but the IHAS goalie will have the final say on this exchange. Face off in IHAS zone, Del Grosso gets the ball served up on a platter, he tees it up, 4-2 Barracudas. Nothing Mathieu could do on that one. The boys in blue would add to their lead 5 minutes later when Ritondo finds himself alone once again against the IHAS goalie, but with the final result going his way this time, 5-2 Barracudas. Trevor Davies would later cut the lead down to 2 when he accepts a cross-ring pass from Steger, but that's as close as they would get to tying the game, and the Barracudas would take this one, 5-3. With the win, Barracudas tie IHAS ball hockey for first place in the A-League with a 3-0-2 record compared to a 4-1 record for IHAS. Steger and Correa continued on their torrid point-getting pace, racking up each a goal and 2 assists. Sirois was the big point getter for Barracudas, amassing 3 assists in the win. Game 3 is sure to be a beauty and pits Dirty Birds versus Racers. Dirty Birds is a new team to the league but come equipped with one of the most gifted scorers this league has ever seen in Louis Verrenault. Dirty Birds may just have the punch it needs to make itself a serious contender for the championship come the playoffs. Standing in their way is a very solid Racer team. Racers have less flash than Dirty Birds, but are very balanced nonetheless. Eric Farmer, an MBHL All-Star, continues to show why he's one of the best in the game, and Sam Beauchamp is no slouch himself. A big win tonight could propel this team to greater things. This game begins with Dirty Bird on the attack. Mathieu Jobin breaks in and feeds the ball to Louis Verrenault, who sees Danny Smith make the save, but Jobin is there to clean up the garbage, and with just 40 seconds gone, it's 1-0 Dirty Birds. Off the ensuing faceoff, Christian Laroche will pass the ball back to Sam Beauchamp, who tees up a blast from the blue line that beats Nicolas Hébert over his shoulder. The game is only 75 seconds old, and we have a 1-1 game. Beauchamp and the Racers strike again 6 minutes later. This time, number 21 feeds Eric Farmer alone in the slot. He rips a laser beam past Hébert, 2-1 Racers. Dirty Birds looking to even the score at 2, but Smith will absolutely stone Steven Jett up close. Now with the Racers on the power play, Beauchamp posts on the boards, finds Fernando Franco in the slot who simply redirects the pass behind the Dirty Birds goalie. 3-1 Racers at this point. Dirty Birds will cut the lead down 3 minutes later. Verrenault finds Jett, Jett finds Jobin, and just like that, it's 3-2 Racers. With 1 minute left in the first, Farmer shows why he's still a threat in this league, muscling his way into enemy territory, going on his backhand to make it 4-2 Racers heading into the second. Now in the second, and with the Racers on the power play, Laroche's blast goes wide, but Big Joe Medeiros picks up the rebound and feeds Beauchamp in the slot. He gets his second goal and 4th point of the night. The score is now 5-3 after Jett scored at the 15-minute mark. And who comes back to strike for the Birds 1 minute later? Verrenault, Jobin, and Jett, who finishes off a beauty to make it 5-4 Racers. But just 2 minutes later, in typical Beauchamp style, he picks up the hat-trick when he wires a wrist shot past Hébert to regain the Racers' 2-goal lead. Franco would score another one 3 minutes after, and the Racers would take this game 7-4. Beauchamp finished the game with 3 goals and 3 assists, having a part in 6 of the Racers' 7 goals. For his part, Hall of Famer Eric Farmer had 2 goals and 2 assists. For the Dirty Birds, Verrenault had 4 assists, and Jobin had 2 goals and 2 assists. The win brings the Racers back to 500 with a 3-3 record, while Dirty Birds drop to 2-3. Game 4 is the latter of a back-to-back series between Bubba Gumps and Les Pounes. Bubba Gumps surprised the then undefeated Les Pounes to a Game 1 victory, and you can bet that Les Pounes will up the ante in this game. Redemption is sweet, and Les Pounes seem poised for it. Benoit Sauvé has been their go-to guy on offense, and Bubba Gumps will definitely need to keep a man on him. Bubba Gumps has started the season slowly, but have turned things around nicely, especially with their convincing win against Les Pounes last week. We start this game in Les Pounes territory. A turnover at the blue line gives Jonathan Proujona a beeline to the net. He makes them pay with a slapper gone 5-0 on Sylvain Mecteau. 1-0 Bubba Gumps. Les Pounes would strike back at the 8-minute mark of the first. Off the faceoff, a mad scramble will ensue in front of Mathieu Labranche's net. The ball will pop out and Jason Béton will slide it past the sprawled goalie. We have ourselves a tie game, 1-1. Lipun's attack continues 3 minutes later. Philippe Melançon does some solid board work before handing off the ball to Benoit Sauvé, who rips one by Labranche. 2-1 Lipun. Moments later, Patrick Robitaille will be sent in alone on a breakaway, but the Bubba Gums goalie will have the upper hand in this round. And now for a strike of bad luck for Bubba Gums. Robitaille's shot will go wide on Labranche, but Béton will bank the rebound off the netminder trying to get back into position. It's now 3-1 Pun. The boys in white don't only excel on offense, but they can handle themselves quite well on D, as shown in this back-checking effort by Benoit Robitaille. Bubba Gums find themselves in an unwanted position, down 2 in the game and with 2 in the box at the end of the first. Unable to clear the ball, Melançon will finally poke the ball between the Gums goalie's legs, giving Lipun the 3-goal lead heading into the second. Now in the second, Labranche is doing everything he can to keep his team in the hunt. Here, stacking the pads, forcing Sauvé to shoot wide. The boys in black only mustered 3 shots in the second period, and every time they got close to Mecto, they would be denied by stingy defense. With the Bubba Gums back in penalty trouble, Christian Delcourt, posted in front of Labranche, will tap in the rebound left by the netminder to make it 5-1. More of the same minutes later, as they put an attack on a 4-on-2 while on the power play. Chris Cabot will get the ball behind the D and wire it blocker side to basically end any chance of a rally. Melançon would add another goal before the end of the game and Lipun would take it 7-1. This was definitely not how Bubba Gums thought this game would go after scoring the first goal early, but penalties were the Gums' downfall, with the PK allowing 3 goals on 5 chances. Labranche faced 20 shots, stopping 13 of them, while Mecto, who led in the first shot he faced, saw only 6 shots in total to win the game. Game 5 has Hat-Trick Swayzes versus Royals. While it is only the 5th game of the season, you get a sense that a lot is riding on this game for both teams. Neither Hat-Trick Swayzes nor Royals has had the start anyone expected. Hat-Trick has been the most inconsistent team in the league, and Royals just seem to be missing those 1 or 2 extra goals per game that could have helped them squeak in an extra victory or 2. In 6 weeks from now, this game could make the difference between playing in December or getting an early start on their holiday shopping. We come into this game with the ball in Royal zone. Andrew Arsenault will poke the ball by the defender and he's off to the races. Goalie Chris Cameron follows him all the way down and makes a pad save. Back in Royals territory, Swayze's forward Steve Carrier will get the ball in the slot, but his quick snapshot is met by Steve Deladoni's left pad. Royals would open their scoring at the 12-minute mark of the first with a beautiful passing play. Daniel Sade will find himself alone at the side of Cameron's net, and he'll make no mistake sending his shot by the goaltender. 1-0 Royals. Entering Swayze's zone, Alex Drago will pull off a nifty move to get by his defender, but Cameron, future on-the-ball analyst, is there to shut the door. A real goaltending duel is forming as the game progresses. Deladoni shows some great coordination when he drops back to catch a loose ball in the air. Royals forward showing some more dirty dangles, this time from Costa Gionis. He gets around his defender, but this time Cameron can't contain the shot as it trickles behind him to give the Royals the 2-goal lead. Hat-Trick Swayzes would cut the lead down to 1 before the end of the first. J.F. Perry will intercept a clearing attempt by the Royals D before feeding Sophie and Meehan in front of the net for the easy tapping. Now in the second period and with the Swayzes on the penalty kill, Jason Thompson will find Meehan behind the last line of defense and he's off. He makes one move to his backhand and just like that, we have ourselves a tie game, 2-2. With the face-off in Royal zone, Nick Londos wins it to Perry, who whistles one towards the net but can't beat Deladoni. Back in Swayze's zone, Jonas will stop the clearing attempt and make a slick move to get to his forehand, only to see Cameron make the save. On the ensuing face-off, number 19 once again dazzles the crowd, this time popping the bottle behind Cameron to give the Royals the 3-2 lead. Hat-Trick Swayzes look for the tying goal late in the period, but can't beat the Royals netminder. Royals would take it 3-2. With the win, Royals tie Hat-Trick Swayzes in 4th place, both having identical 2-3 records. Sophie and Meehan continues to rack up the points with 2 goals tonight, giving him 7 goals and 15 points in 5 games this season to share the league lead with Louis Veronneau. Both goalies looked sharp tonight, Cameron having stopped 14 of 17 shots he faced, while Deladoni stopped 13 of 15. Here are your updated standings and scoring leaders as of October 8, 2012. it's now time for the highlight of the night. And for that, we go back to the game-winning goal by the Royals, scored by Gionis. I mean, not only does he dangle inside a phone booth, he finishes off the job by popping the bottle behind Chris Cameron. And that's our highlight of the night. Thank you once again for tuning in. Be ready for another episode of On the Ball coming your way in about 2 weeks when we'll be filming games taking place on October 15th. Until then, follow us on Facebook and me on Twitter. Both addresses can be found at the bottom of your screen. That's all for this show. I'm Matthew LaFleur Herwood, hoping you all have a good day.